On the count of podcast?
Podcast.
Wow. Put some effort into it, why don't you?
I think I just did. Thank you.
Our show is presented by...
Pontiac Fiero. I didn't have anything backed up for that. Yeah.
That's sad.
The muscle car of choice by all dentists, 1 out of 5.
Dentists drive Fiero?
Well, it's a dick car. And dentists, let's face it, huge cocks. Anyway.
Wow.
Wow.
Look, this was a dark film to watch today, and I'm trying to be funny.
I was kind of wondering how we're going to be funny about this.
Well, we'll figure it out. You need to pay attention.
Because you're crying all the way through this.
I might start again. I don't know. It could happen.
It could happen.
We're talking about the movie Fearless, directed by Peter Weir and starring the dude, Jeff Bridges.
The greatest people of all time. He's just one of my favorite humans and has been for so long.
I was in a room once where Bob was interviewing Jeff Bridges.
That is so cool. That is so cool. And I bet he was the nicest fucking guy in the world, too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. God damn it.
You want to help your friend, or?
I can't put him down. He's not technically sick.
I feel like we could claim
No,
he's sick.
we can't.
He's sick in the head.
He's sick in the head. He's definitely sick in the head.
There's no doubt about that.
Anyway, yeah. So, this was based on a true story. Did you know that? The flight itself in Fearless, before it crashed. Sioux City, Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Did you know that the same crash was used in the movie Hero, starring Dustin Hoffman and Gina Davis?
Your favorite movie? With your favorite actor, Dustin Hoffman?
I fucking hate Dustin Hoffman. So much.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman almost didn't survive that because he had to be in a real plane crash, or he couldn't, get into his character.
Couldn't get into the headspace of a dead person. God.
He had to crash an actual plane. That's the only way he could do it.
Was that a comedy?
I can't remember. I think his character wasn't actually on the plane. But he claimed to be or something.
So, I don't understand. Sounds like a bad movie. A very bad movie.
That's probably not a good movie. Yeah, because he's in it. All
right, we gotta perk up, guys. We gotta perk up. Come on.
Can we perk up? Are we capable of that?
Gotta psych ourselves up.
So the plane crashes. Jeff Bridges thinks he's going to die, and he doesn't, and he comes out of it fearless. He has no fear of anything anymore.
Right.
He's a fearless truth teller. In other words, he becomes Alex Jones.
He becomes, as far as being a bit of an asshole, yes.
He does become an asshole, doesn't he?
He does become an asshole. He really does. But I mean, think about that's one of the things I wanted to ask each one of us is how the fuck do you think you would feel after a plane crash? You were on it. Your best friend just got decapitated. You're watching all this stuff. Everybody's bloody. There's smoke. You're holding a fucking infant baby, not knowing whose it is. And you're just walking around a cornfield. How did he get the baby?
Yeah, how did that happen?
He just there's a baby on the ground.
Literally, it was on the floor of the plane, just laying there.
How did that survive?
The baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes babies
Babies are resilient.
Yeah.
You can bounce them like a basketball.
They got spongy brains.
See, I thought maybe it had been in a car seat.
I dropped you a couple times.
Oh
no.
That explains a lot. Child abuse aside, I don't know where. I don't remember how, but yeah, found the infant and all that. But anyway.
But there's some weird cuts early on in this movie because I thought as he's holding this baby, and then you see Rosie Perez going, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby?" It's like, so it's her baby, and then it's
Oh.
not hers.
It's not.
That's
But
It's a
that-
totally
interesting.
different baby.
That was the point, is that you were going to get that kind of like, oh.
What is
good.
this was like misdirection?
Yeah.
This is the fun and games
Yeah.
of Fearless.
Yeah. It's the only time you're going to have it, so enjoy. No.
It's very disjointed, this
Okay.
movie. Early on, it's incredibly disjointed in terms of like that type of misdirection editing
Mhm.
needlessly, and then him just wandering off and going to a hotel, and you're just like, what is with this dude?
But that's,
He just doesn't like connect with anything.
I think that's why I asked, though, how do you think any one of us would react if that were any one of us? That you don't know after something like that. You'd be forever changed. Something in you would just snap. You fucking lived, and so many people died. There's so much PTSD there. There's just so much. And at first, I kind of gave it to him. It's like, I get it. I would be scared shitless, and, and coming out of it, I'd just be like, all right, well, I survived that. I'm the king of the world, And then
I'd be like, I'm gonna fuck off now.
yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically did.
Yeah.
Just fucking off and going to the hotel and, eating strawberries with his high school ex-girlfriend and,
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
I could not figure out what that was about. What was the purpose or point of that? Just
it's because he was in the area of
is
where
it-
they used to live.
the plane I was on just crashed nearby, and I just
And she had no
Thought,
idea
yeah,
because
what
it
the hell,
literally just crashed. So
Yeah,
no one
it's
would
like,
know about
But
it.
there's a lot of-
She couldn't have known that he was on a plane to go.
it
for
took me a while to
business.
figure out who the hell is he talking to and why.
Oh, I see. All right.
I didn't know until now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was his ex-girlfriend until now.
Like contextually, I knew there had to be something there, but it seemed like an incredibly pointless scene that had really no explanation of any kind.
See, I thought it just kind of set up where his brain was, or maybe even really wasn't. It's just he wanted to do something mindless. That if you notice, in the car, he kept changing the stations because he didn't want to hear any fucking news about this fucking plane that he just landed. Not landed, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
He wanted to avoid it. So what was the one thing that he could do? He could go visit an ex-girlfriend. Why not? She's on the fucking way, whatever. Then I'm just going to go get a hotel room. Then I'm going to, fuck off, basically.
Yeah.
And I saw that as that's just him doing something mindless that has nothing to do with what just happened to him. That's the way I view that.
Mhm.
But, I mean, honestly, I don't think you're wrong in that if we lost that scene, we couldn't do something later on with the actual full cast or something like that. You know what I mean? But that's how I view it.
So I don't know where that scene fits into anything else.
And actually, it's
thematically.
kind of funny too, because early on in the movie, if you have the patience, you're going to have some weird. Jeff is like I said, one of my favorite actors of all time,
Mhm.
but he has some definite Neil Breen moments in the beginning of this movie, doesn't he? Like there's just some delivery, just a little bit of the delivery, and you're like, oh, that's a Neil Breen right there.
There's a bit of Breenism in it. He's just sort of beatific and empty for a little while.
Yeah. But I think that is with purpose,
Because he's fearless.
He's fearless. It gets more and more fearless.
His character's name is Fearless, by the way. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Max Fearless
Max
Klein.
Fearless. What's his name? Max Fearless.
Fearless is my middle name.
But now beyond all of this, though, I mean, you have a fantastic cast. Just a fantastic cast. There's not a person in here that I didn't love. John Turturro, Tom Hulce, Isabella Rosseilini. God, she's just so beautiful to look at. Like, every time I see her, I'm like, why are you... She's like a fucking angel. Just a beautiful angel.
So he's married to Annabella Sciorra and...
Isabella Rossellini.
Whatever.
If I would have done that, Sean would be like, no, get it right. We're talking about the film.
They're married, and he's like, just doesn't seem to give a fuck what she thinks or who she is anymore. Now that he's survived a plane crash.
I feel like he's dissociated
Yeah.
I think that's what it was for me. He's dissociating. He's taking himself out of every situation because he didn't give himself time to grieve. All he did was just say, "Oh, well, I can survive anything now," and so he's just kind of going around with like a puffed out chest, just kind of being an asshole. But I think it's because he dissociated. I think he's just kind of shut everything off. And even he does it very well. And this is hard for Jeff because Jeff acts with his eyes a lot. But he kind of had the dead behind the eyes look there in the beginning because I think he was. I think that's you just shut down. I can't even imagine. But my favorite performance in this movie is Rosie Perez. She's just so fucking phenomenal, especially I hate to say this because it's very traumatic, but her crying scenes. The very first time I saw this movie, it gave me panic attacks because they just seem so real, so fucking real. They're pulling her off this plane, and she's like, "My baby's in there, my baby's in there." And she's just, you could feel her, just the way that she was reaching out. It just,
it was a lot. It
powerful.
was a lot.
The plane explodes.
Oh my god. Oh. And then she just wants to die after it. You know, this is not an easy movie to talk about because
Married
there's
to
so much trauma.
Baby Benicio del Toro.
Who had a rat tail in the beginning. And then he chopped it.
I missed that. I missed the rat tail when it was gone.
I know. I was looking for it. And I was like, oh. Now you just have a regular 90s cut for a dude with thick hair.
Kinda just asking, just how much money you can get for a dead baby.
And the way he fucking said that's like, dude, that's your baby. Somebody else is getting $2 million for their dead baby. There's a whole thing.
Like, oh, okay. I didn't realize you really needed your money. I thought you kind of wanted a baby, but that's fine.
And that's the whole thing. So after this, and after Max returns home, there's a whole thing about getting litigious about, who's owed what for compensation for the plane
Tom
crash.
Hulce plays just a complete asshole who just
sleaze.
The most loathsome person.
Yep.
I just hated every scene that he was in and everything that he is as a human being.
It reminds me of him in Parenthood because he also played just a really abhorrent kind of person. You're just like, God, please stop talking. And he's such a fantastic actor. That's the thing. It's like I love seeing him whenever I see him.
I'm just looking at him and going, F. Murray Abraham was right about you.
My cat was right about you. Yeah. So that's, and this kind of goes on throughout the film is compensation.
Meanwhile, Jeff has got to just go put himself in death situations to regain his fearlessness.
Yeah. And he does that quite a bit in the beginning.
Standing on the edge of buildings. And
I can't, especially when they show when the camera's looking down onto the road. Like my whole body tingles. I'm like, I hate this so much.
Now imagine seeing that in the theater.
Oh yeah, exactly. Fuck that. Let's see it on IMAX. That'd be great. Oh God, I would vomit. I would absolutely vomit. I hate heights so much. I can barely fly. And after I saw this movie, I was going to visit a friend, and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to get on a plane now.
He got on a plane right after, like immediately after.
Because his middle name is Fearless. Max Fearless Klein.
He's too fearless to have that problem.
So true.
I was waiting for it to turn into Unbreakable, like where Bruce Willis is like, oh, he's a superhero. This was actually caused by Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
Mr. Glass actually caused this plane crash looking for Fearless, his comic book enemy.
Well, I mean, now we've written a whole new movie. Don't give our ideas away.
Do you think M. Night watched this and got the idea, like, but if I turn it into a train crash, no one will know.
What a twist. Yeah, well, it could be. I don't know. So anyway, I'm
going to say it's in the Unbreakable universe, just for my own headcanon.
Why? Come here.
Yeah, it's more fun that way.
Okay. All right. Well, this movie was not fun. Okay. This movie was definitely not fun. However, I loved it.
Can we all agree that we're all just with Isabella Rossellini? Like, she's right. She's right about this. He's just being an asshole. I know you're suffering from PTSD, but you're being a dick.
That's no excuse, dude. I get it. Your plane fell out of the sky, okay? I empathize with you, but could you be less of a dick to me and your son? Just trying to live our lives over here.
Yeah. I'm sorry we didn't survive a plane crash.
She actually even said that. I wish I was on that fucking plane. Maybe, she's like, glad that you weren't. Well, thanks. Do you want me with you at all? God damn. Anyway, so then we go.
Well, there's all sorts of implications with that, because if she'd have been on the plane instead of his partner, she'd be dead.
Good point.
Right now.
Good point.
Which is him saying, I don't want you to be dead.
That's true.
It's lovely.
But she probably didn't feel that way.
Well, no, because she doesn't know what his internal monologue is.
That's exactly right.
And he's always saying the wrong thing. Like, he just... even to Rosie O'Donnell, Rosie Perez...
A whole different movie of Rosie O'Donnell.
With Rosie Perez, he's like, he's like, almost initially like says it was her fault that her baby died.
I kept looking over at you. I'm like, okay, don't worry, he's not saying that. So Rosie O'Donnell, God damn it, Rosie Perez plays Carla, and she again also went down on the plane, lost her 2-year-old son Bubble, and just wanted to die. Just went back to her home, stayed in bed every single day, would not get up. Benicio del Toro playing her horrible husband, trying to get her up out of the bed and that kind of thing. The only thing that gets her up is Max Fearless Klein comes over. Now
he takes her to church.
They go to church, and he's even saying, he's like, I'm pretty much an atheist, but I'll fucking go to church with you, whatever.
Let me show you how to light that candle.
I'm a man. I'll light that candle for you. You have to see the scene. So they were brought together by John Turturro, who plays a weird therapist, kind of a PTSD therapist.
Everybody hates and treats poorly.
And I really like him. He's the Jesus after all,
He's just trying to help, but he's also like been hired, and he feels like he's an outsider in this situation, and does he even know how to do his job?
Because later, like in the
they're
film,
they're doing like this group therapy scene, and he's like, "Okay, everybody, immediately relive your trauma."
Yeah, can you tell me exactly what you saw that day?
Why don't you tell this? This is the
right.
This is the mother of one of the people who died. Can you tell her? And like one lady's go, "Oh, he got crushed immediately."
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. You should tell him. You should tell her that. Tell her that he got crushed immediately.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's what you want to
hear.
Hear.
What? No. What?
Don't say that. Maybe don't. And I think starting off, like I said earlier, about kind of being dead in the eyes, I think as the film went on, I think he got better and better. And it's like once his character started to open up, because he found this friendship in Rosie Perez that kind of brought him back to life, even though he wasn't really realizing it. I think that's where the acting got better for me.
What was with the strawberries?
The strawberries.
Because he's like, they establish early on that he is...
he was allergic to them.
Allergic to strawberries, and then they have him just eating strawberries regularly.
To him, that's a challenge. To see if he'll...
I don't think that's how food allergies work.
Not all of them. But see, okay, here's something.
You don't just sit down and eat gluten, No,
but I've been glutened. No, like, look at your niece Stephanie. Could not eat strawberries for most of her life. Can have them now. Yeah. It's, your body can change. And I don't know, like, for him, it is so strange, but maybe there was a cortisol issue in his body where it's like nothing, it's like it wasn't registering that he was eating a strawberry. It could be anything. I have no idea.
Does he desire death?
I don't think so.
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
I don't think he does.
I would say, because he's courting it, though.
Yeah, he definitely is doing that. But I don't think...
Like, does he actually want to die, or does he just want to live crazily?
I think in the way that as he and Rosie Perez's friendship moves on, I think he really would have just up and ran away with her. I really do. I think that it just start his life all over again. Just run away and forget about it. But for him, that's stuffing down the pain and not facing what he went through. You know what I mean? So that I think
that's not fearless. That's anti-fearless.
That's anti-fearless. That's why they call him Max Anti-Fearless. No one calls him that. No, not even his mom. Yeah, no, I don't think that he wants to die. But like you said, yeah, I think.
But then he drives into a wall as fast as he can
to prove a point to Rosie Perez's character. Yeah, it wasn't her fault.
It's not your fault, man.
It's not your fault. Hey,
it's not your fault.
Hey, man. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Stop it, man. Stop it. Hey, it's not your fault. Hey, look at us.
It's not your fault.
I think it is, actually. It's always my fault.
Could be.
Actually, Amy is to blame.
Yeah, I did. I thought so.
Oh, no.
Sure of it.
So he drives his car into a wall.
To prove a point to Rosie Perez. Now,
to try and prove to her that she could not have held her baby during the plane crash.
Right. And the thing...
that was the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think he was doing?
Just having fun.
Literally, like, giving her another chance to...
Oh, and then she failed? It's like...
Yeah, I was a little like, what? Really?
What was the point of that?
I didn't understand what was going on.
I would be so pissed at this movie if that was the case. I'd be like, fuck you. This movie sucks. Oh my god. No.
Just prove, like, if she'd held on to it, like, oh man, I could have saved my kid. I really suck.
Why?
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. God damn it. No, and again, it's and here's the thing, and maybe it's just because I know details about this particular automobile that he was driving.
The Volvo.
The Volvo. In the 90s, these cars, and maybe they still are to this day, but in the 90s, they were pretty crash resistant, and if you did get in an accident, most people did not die in a Volvo because they're so well crafted in the front. So I think that there's something like that in the back of my head, like maybe his character would know that. I don't know.
That's why he bought a Volvo.
That's why he bought the Volvo, because it was fucking safe. So, I mean, that's why he put her in the back seat. So, I don't know. I think that was just as much for himself as it was for her. Mostly for her, but for him too. It's like he feels like he's invincible.
Mm-hmm.
So... And to him, he wasn't scared, so if something did happen to him, at least it wouldn't happen to her. However, having said that, if you look at it, you're forcing a whole new litany of trauma on the both of yous.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, let's just say this. So he is not a licensed therapist.
He's not a licensed therapist. That's why he's an architect. Plus,
I don't think John Turturro's character would have approved of this kind of therapy.
I don't know anyone who would approve of this kind of therapy. But you're right. Yeah, he probably...
I think they watched David Cronenberg's Crash. Maybe he was trying to get her turned on.
I think that's the worst thing you've ever said.
Crash, from David Cronenberg, is a movie about people who are sexually set off by car accidents.
Oh, no.
Wait, is that really?
Yes, you didn't know that was the premise of that?
I've never seen Crash.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
No. They're sexually turned on by car crashes?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I just bought it the Criterion DVD if you want to watch it.
I'm good.
I don't think anyone needs that.
I think that's fucking weird. I'm sorry.
Cronenberg is weird?
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Can I get a quote here? Amy is saying that David Cronenberg's a little weird.
Look, I know you guys are used to my hot takes on this show. So I feel no shame saying that. God damn it.
Can you imagine David Cronenberg's Fearless?
Oh!
they crash and like Jeff Bridges becomes the baby is fused to his head. And he's got to go around with this living baby fused to his head.
I don't like David Cronenberg's Fearless.
No.
Everybody just emerges from the plane, just kind of a massive person.
Oh god!
They're just melted together now.
No, thank you.
I hate your idea, and I want it to stop.
They fall into this.
They
fall into this community of people who are like totally into that. Like they get sexually turned on by people who are burned, fused together.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
I hate that movie.
David Cronenberg's Fearless.
Fucking wow, man.
No.
Wow. Just wow. I don't want that film. I didn't ask for that film.
Nobody did.
Nobody asked for that film.
Well, that's why I'm fearless.
Sean, fearless asshole.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if I connected with this movie the way you did.
I think for me, it was a bunch of little things. It like I said, it's Rosie Perez for me. Even though Jeff Bridges is one of my favorite actors, this is not my favorite film of his, but it is. I rank it pretty high because I love how it was shot. I think the idea of it. I like the idea of it. I just think that I deal with my grief a little bit different than some other people do, and I think that when I watched this movie, it was just cathartic. To you know what I mean? And because I don't think the second time I watched it, it was after our mom had passed, and it had done something for me. So that's probably my connection to it.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I do think it's a good film. I think it was done well. I think that it's very slow going in the beginning. Like I said, there's some brain moments. But
I just find it disjointed. Like I just don't understand. Like, and I get that he's trying to unmoor us from the reality in the same way that kind of Bridges' character, Fearless, is unmoored from this. But I wanted something a little bit more conventional that would kind of, draw me in and connect me to the character instead of what they were doing.
Instead of what they were doing.
Overall,
just want something else.
This film just kind of pissed me off. Can we just have a different movie?
Peter Weir is a great director.
He really is.
He's a great director.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know exactly what it is that he's going for here.
I just told you. It's about trauma. And, money.
This is actually a movie about Tom Hulce's character. And the various ways you can pull more money out of insurance companies and airlines.
Oh, God.
After a crash.
How many ways, even him just trying to if somebody in this film, says something to him, he's like, oh, we don't frame it like that, just how much he wanted them. It's lying, dude. It's straight up fucking lying.
He's just the worst.
He is the worst.
He's the worst person ever.
But I don't.
But at the same time, he's also taking money from massive corporations, so it's I can't feel bad for them.
Correct.
I can't root for this asshole, but I don't care if he's taking money from fucking major corporations. That doesn't bother me at all.
It's
take them for all they're worth.
You're right. Of course you're right.
None of this was ever going to go to trial. They were going to settle this thing no matter what. That's how plane crash works like that in terms of the law. They tend not to. The airlines tend not to try and tell you that the plane crash didn't happen.
It was all just a dream.
No, you weren't. A plane crash? I think we would have heard about a plane
crash. Right. I think we'd know.
We counted all the planes. They're there.
They're there. I don't know what you think you saw.
Pretty sure.
Are those stock images?
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure this is a false flag. I'm going to be a fearless truther.
God, we're terrible. We're terrible human beings.
Rosie Perez never had a child.
Yeah, you didn't get on with the baby. I don't know why you think you should leave with one. So, God, that'd be so horrible, wouldn't it?
Isn't that the plot of the movie Flight Plan with Jodie Foster?
Oh my God. Gaslight the movie. Shit.
I think that actually is the plot.
I think you're right. Yeah, I do think you're right.
She falls asleep, they take her kid. And
you didn't have one
she
when
wakes
you
up
came
and then they're
on.
like, sorry, you didn't have a child with you. We don't know what you're talking about.
Lovely. Wow.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So, would you like if I were to tell somebody that they should watch this movie, I would, which I've recommended it before, but that's only for people who can handle and aren't triggered by their grief. Because this movie can be very, very triggering, I think, and elicits a lot of emotions. It's not an easy watch if you have lost a loved one, you know, whether it be in a plane crash or something like that. Like, this is not the movie to watch for you. And if you're having a really good, bright, sunny day and you're enjoying yourself, I don't recommend watching Fearless.
No.
You know?
If you want to
I think that's part of my
sure.
Yeah. Part of my problem with this movie is that I thought it was going to be inspirational. I thought the whole point of it was going to be like, you know, reaffirming a love of life. Like, I survived this thing and, you know, my love of being alive is reaffirmed. And that's not what this movie is.
No.
I hate life-affirming things.
Life can only be good now if I'm near death somehow.
Well, again, that's why I think I really do think that he was just dissociating. Just, you know, I don't know. I still like this movie a lot, and I still have such a connection with it. But at the same time, watching it now too, there are certain things that I think didn't age well for me.
Yeah, like what?
I'm trying to remember now. God damn it! Why didn't I take? I didn't take any notes, and I always take notes during these movies.
We don't have any quotes either.
We don't have any cunts for the cunt list.
That guy in the meeting who was like, "I've got to get back to my business."
Oh,
man,
yeah,
meeting.
yeah,
Man.
Angry White Man. He'll go on
Angry
there.
White Man.
Yeah, and Tom Hulce's character Brillstein, but no one in reality went on the cunt list. So, which is a first for us, I think. Is it not?
I would say, yeah. I mean, no, I think we've had one where nobody ended up on there, but
really
possible.
I feel like I found.
Do you know how Jeff Bridges found this character in terms of getting into his acting realm?
Mm-mm.
He had a conversation, a sit-down dinner with his very good friend Gary Busey, who's of course faced death in a motorcycle crash.
Right.
And he was asking Busey what that was like, being in a coma, getting out of it with his life. And Busey's fucking insane after, he was kind of crazy before the motorcycle accident
He was
and afterwards.
fucking crazier afterwards.
Yeah.
He loves onion rings, though.
Sorry, what? This is some Busey trivia?
This is Busey trivia. Somebody recorded him at a diner, and he was like eating onion rings, and he's just like, "Yeah, I love onion rings," and I could just see Gary Busey saying it too.
He's just
like,
big smile on his all teeth.
all teeth. And I look at him like, you know what? Good for you. Good for fucking you, Busey.
Sure, man.
You deserve to love what you shouldn't even be here. I mean, honestly.
And now a digression.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Hider in the House?
No.
So Hider in the House, this is a real movie, starring Gary Busey and Mimi Rogers and Michael McKean, in which Gary Busey plays a mental patient who gets released from the mental hospital, and he finds this construction crew working on a house, and he sneaks inside and he builds a wall in their attic.
I think I've seen the trailer for
Creates
this.
a false wall that's going to be his room that he's going to live in, and he's going to hide, and thus he is the hider in the house. But he also befriends Mimi Rogers and her son, Well, because Michael McKean's cheating on his wife and off running around and stuff. and he's like, so there's like this scene where like Busey sneaks into her bedroom in the middle of the night and just watches her sleep. Can you imagine having Gary Busey watch you sleep?
Yeah. It's like on Misfits when Simon goes invisible and then goes in and watches his parole officer, probation worker sleeping. It's icky. That's an icky thing to do.
It's very icky.
Highly recommend Alison Pregler and Phalis' video on Hide Her in the House. It's hilarious.
Don't know if I can.
Another digression, just absolutely apropos of nothing, because we've got very little to talk about here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I saw this clip, and I think it might be from the TV show Barry. I'm not sure. But this guy was talking about, we're talking about sneaking into people's homes. His friend, this female friend of his, is telling him about this, this person who's really bothered her, really kind of hurt her feelings. And he's like, he comes up with this plan where he's like, I won't hurt her, but I've got a way to mess with her. So for the next few weeks, I'm just going to sneak into her house and take pictures of her sleeping and leave them for her. And then I'm going to continue to break into her house every week and just move things. So like, or make her chairs smaller, or like, move items where she knows they're supposed to be a certain spot, but they're not there anymore until she goes completely insane. I'm just trimming the legs on her pants just so they're... Am I getting taller?
That's like a big incel move, isn't it? If I can't have her, I'll make her suffer.
No, this woman had hurt his female friend that he was trying to defend, so he was going to just drive this woman slowly insane.
It's still weird.
So, like, little Robbie, like, gets shorter every...
Oh, no.
Robbie, we can't afford to have you get any shorter. I won't be
just
able to
one
see
of your posters just disappears from the wall.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
And you're like, wait, isn't there supposed to be something? Then it comes back a week later, and you're like, wasn't that gone?
That would piss me off so much.
It would freak you out, though.
Oh, my God.
It would freak you out, right?
Yeah, absolutely it would. Cheekers.
I kind of want to see somebody play that out now.
No!
To see how that would...
Don't do it to me. Because I already feel like I'm going crazy as it is. Can I help you? Here.
Yeah. I think somebody on Scrubs did that as a joke one time, too.
That seems like a Scrubs move.
Like, they're just changing their clothes to make them think that they were taller. Or skinnier.
I haven't watched that in so long. I need to watch it again.
Didn't they mention that on Bob's Burgers one time?
What? Scrubs?
No, the idea of, like, making someone go insane. I feel like they did.
Early days.
It sounds like something Gene would do.
I think it was Gene and Louise, and they were talking about it.
Louise would totally do that. She would totally, like, slipping lifts into someone's shoes. How did I get taller?
Hi, if somebody did that to me and like kept making it seem like I was shorter. I'm 4'11" now. Like, I can't get any smaller.
Can you imagine just coming into your house and your counter is 2 inches taller?
Oh my God, I would lose my shit. I'd lose my fucking shit.
That's the thing. It's like, it's imperceptible changes. Like, it's just, you know something has changed, but
don't know what.
you're just not sure what it is that's changed.
That's just cruel.
See, that just reminds me of the idea of everyone, or of somebody breaking into your house and taking something insignificant just to drive them nuts. Like the batteries out of remotes.
I've done that before.
Like all the, or like, I don't know what else it was.
Just
like
take all of their
bobby
trash
pins.
bags, but leave the box.
Oh my God.
Did I use all those already?
Something like that, yeah.
I just bought these.
Where's it?
Yeah, totally.
Until finally you take their microwave, like, where's my microwave? What
Okay,
the
now I
hell?
know that's fucked up. My God. What up? Are we horrible people for discussing this?
We're giving some psychopaths some really great ideas.
We really are. Jesus.
But also, it's a warning for everybody who's listening. If you see this happening to you, maybe somebody's doing that.
That's a good point. It's really a public service announcement.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
It was a Woody Allen that said it's not paranoia if it's true.
Are we really invoking Woody Allen here? Are we?
It's his quote.
I just don't feel like that was any of our business. Fucking Woody Allen.
Oh, that reminds me of another digression. So next week on the regular podcast, we're doing the Albert Brooks documentary.
Oh, awesome!
Defending My Life.
So good.
And I had this thought because I wrote about it. It's up on the regular I8 Critics feed. He is the reason why comedy in the 90s exists.
Mm-hmm.
He is Generation X is Albert Brooks, and we just don't even recognize it.
Because he never really got his due. Like, he's a fucking genius.
He is.
He just is. I have his comedy records, and there's some of the best that I own. Actual CDs. Yeah.
He never planned a single one of his talk show appearances. So, like, one time when he was going on Johnny Carson, he's like, I don't know what to do. He showed up with a speak and say, and just was treating it like it was a doll, like a talking doll. Like, I've got this talking doll, and I can make it say anything I want. Beep, 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 beep. Hi, Johnny. Beep, beep. It's clear what he's doing, but it's like he's pretending that it's a doll that he can make it. He's painted a little face on the back of it
my God.
and given it shoes and eyes.
That makes me so happy. That's on YouTube?
Probably.
I gotta fucking watch that shit.
Oh my God. It's just, he is a genius.
He really is.
Like, Carl Reiner saw him perform because he and Rob Reiner went to high school together.
Right.
And Carl Reiner saw Albert Brooks perform at a student talent show, and then went on the Steve Allen show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, less than a week later, he goes, the funniest person I've ever seen, Albert Brooks.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knew who he was talking about because he's an 18-year-old kid at the time.
That is so fucking cool. God, that is cool. Oh my God. Oh.
And meanwhile, Carl said, Dad, I'm right here.
Yeah, right. Son, you're funny, but you're not Albert Brooks funny. You know, that person you went to school with? He's better than you, son. Son, I don't love you anymore. I'm going to adopt Albert Brooks.
Do you know what Albert Brooks' real name is?
I do know. Fuck. Oh, shit. I watched a documentary when I was down in South Carolina. Fuck. I can't remember it.
Albert Einstein.
Oh. And who's his famous brother?
Oh, Super Dave Osborne.
That's right. When I found that out, I was like, what? That's so fucking cool. How I didn't know that.
Do you know who Albert Brooks' dad is?
It's not Mel Brooks.
No. No. I don't know his name, but his comedian name, because he was a comedian and an actor, who was referred to wherever he went as Park Your Carcass.
Park your carcass.
Park Your Carcass. Do you know why he's famous? If anybody's ever heard of Park Your Carcass, it's not because of his movies or TV or his stand-up. He's famous because the night that they welcomed Lucille Ball into the Friars Club, Park Your Carcass was sitting on the dais and died.
Fuck you.
He died on the dais at the Friars Club during the induction of Lucille Ball, the first woman to ever join the Friars Club.
Probably why he died. Lucille Ball. What a bitch.
What the fuck? Where's this Lucille Ball fire coming from?
She was kind of a bitch. Did you ever...
I had no idea.
Behind the scenes? I wouldn't put her on the cunt list because, honestly, as a woman, ahead of her fucking time, got shit done, deservedly, got the accolades. She was not a kind person to be around. Everything I've read about her, she's just a monster. Well, to certain people.
I saw that terrible Aaron Sorkin movie about Lucy and Desi.
Who played her in that?
Nicole Kidman.
Ew.
And in just that typically Sorkin way, like, you can't have a joke like be thought of in a room by a group of people going, this sounds like a funny idea. No, everything's got to be she saw it somewhere and was inspired and like turned that. And then it's all like this really dramatic thing of her coming up with this brilliant world-changing joke that only she could have thought of from having seen. It's like, I don't need an origin story for the fucking grape stomping scene. It's funny because she's acting weird while stomping grapes.
Right.
It's not this big thing that she spent hours thinking about. He's like acting like she's fucking Michael Jordan of comedy. Like she has this preternatural. And yes, she's a genius.
Right.
She thought of these things and performed them. But it's like he's got these origin stories for everything. And it's like, not everything is that complicated. Some things are just funny. and there's no joy. She had no joy in her comedy whatsoever.
That's not true.
No, that's the way they play it. Like, this is not a joyous thing for her. This is genius to it. This is genius.
Oh, shut up. Are you serious?
Oh, no, yes. It's all about just the cerebral genius of coming up with these things. And it's
I like Nicole Kidman, but I think I'd hate
did
that
she
movie.
not laugh ever? Like,
Yeah.
Was there no joy whatsoever in her or Desi? They just like angrily came up with all of their comedy.
Right.
from just a mental challenge aspect, not because it's funny.
I hate life, so I'm going to write comedy. Well, I mean, actually, that does make sense. I think Patton Oswalt said something to that effect. It's like, you have to have like a pretty fucked up vision to want to be a comedian. Wow.
But there has to be, you have to laugh at, don't you? When you're writing a joke, you have to laugh at it first, don't you?
I would have, yeah.
If you think it's funny, then you'll tell it. If you don't think it's funny, you won't tell it. Like,
Well, some comedians still do that.
I find it just strange that he had to like illustrate the entire intellectual process of coming up with, you know, stuffing a bunch of chocolates in your mouth as fast as you can.
Again, and that was, a lot of that was, with her, was about the physical comedy of it. And it doesn't take a genius to do that. You know,
I'm not saying she's not a genius. I'm just saying, like,
I think genius is
there's
a bit
like,
much.
But it's like funny though. It's a funny idea to do with that. Like that's an improv that you could come up with and just do that, you know?
But see, okay, here's the thing about that was that's one of the reasons why I couldn't watch I Love Lucy. Like I remember watching it as a kid, but as I got older, it started to give me anxiety because I knew she was going to get into trouble, something would get fucked up, and then it would resolve itself.
She'll nearly kill John Wayne,
right?
Or something.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that. It gives me anxiety. It's one of the reasons why I stopped watching Friends for a while, because Ross became the Lucy of that show, and all these things just kept happening to him, and I was like, all right, you know what, I'm walking away.
Episode where he gets trapped in the leather pants.
Oh my god, that one.
Oh god.
The self-tanner scene.
Oh
my god.
At a certain point, yeah, they just ran out of things to do with Ross, didn't they?
Yeah, and it what a bummer, because I mean, they found stuff for everybody else to do, but like they just kept trying to put him in a relationship. Like he didn't have, you know, he could have just been a single dude, you know, but no, we have to keep marrying Ross off, you know, and that it just
they have to make it a gimmick that he gets married a bunch of times.
Right.
And then it became like just about like repeatedly humiliating him, just placing him in the most humiliating situations all the time.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And I can't watch shows like that. It gives me anxiety.
Like there's one episode, the early seasons that I can't watch because I find it so triggering or weird, or I don't know. It's the scene where it's one where Chandler's trapped in the vestibule with that model.
Oh, I love that episode.
I hate that.
Why?
I hate it because it's like, just act like a fucking human being. No human being is going to act like you're acting in this situation.
Wow. I thought that was a really good episode.
I thought we could have been better with that. It just made me feel just all uncomfortable and weird, and I just don't think as much as because I love that character. I love Chandler. He's my favorite character.
Right.
And I just didn't feel he's not going to be smooth in that situation, but he's not. This goes too far. It's taking it too far.
I can see
into
it.
him being a loser.
Yeah, I can see that. course. We went really off topic today.
We really did.
Well, you know, we're talking about Fearless, for fuck's sake.
That's true. And again, I cried at the end. So it's like, those kinds of movies, it's so hard. Like, give us a shitty 1993 movie.
This was your idea!
I wonder what's Fearless.
You insisted on this.
Because I love the movie. I love my Jeffy.
What is your Jeff Bridges top 5?
So number 5 would probably be. God, I'd have to look at my list. No wait. Okay, number 1, Fabulous Baker Boys. Number 2, Big Lebowski. Number 3, Kiss Me Goodbye. Number 4, probably this movie. And number 5, Fisher King.
I hate the Fabulous Baker Boys.
And they hate you too. Fuck you and fuck yourself.
Hate that movie.
Why do you hate it?
Oh gosh, it's been a while. Let me see.
It's a beautiful movie.
I wrote terrible things about it because I didn't enjoy it.
I guess it just wasn't for you.
It was not.
I fucking loved it.
It was not for me. That's the takeaway.
I know, but
that
here's
was
the thing. What I like, you should laud, basically. When are you going to get this? That's how this works.
We did like a 30-year review of Fabulous Baker Boys, and yeah, it just did not. I did not enjoy that.
What a shame.
And it's certainly, Lebowski is way better.
Disagree. Lebowski is one of the greatest movies of all time. But as for me, a Jeff Bridges film freak. And here's the thing about like Kiss Me Goodbye. He's not in it nearly enough, but he's in it just enough that I love him in it. He's so cute in it. So,
Okay, I get it now, yeah.
worst movies? Amateurs, Stay Hungry. Those are pretty much it. Amateurs is awful. It's got a great fucking cast, but it's a terrible, terrible movie. Oh,
Yeah.
and the one where he dies 5 minutes into it, and then his body just stays in the house, and that little girl has to talk to him. Terry
Gilliam, yeah.
Terry Gill, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
And then the door on the floor.
What about King Kong?
Oh, I fucking love King Kong. That's number 6, I would say, for me. Oh god, he's so hot in that fucking movie.
What about the movie you made with Clint Eastwood? Is that good?
Oh, wait, is that no, I'm thinking of was that Thunderbolt and Lightfoot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Rancho Deluxe, fantastic movie. Yeah, I've pretty much seen all of these. I've seen every one of his movies.
Against All Odds?
Number 7. I fucking love that movie. It's weird because
I've heard that movie is supposed to be super sexy. Is it super sexy?
It's fucking hot, is what it is. And I tell you, Robert Sheehan is in a movie called Jet Trash, and that movie, I swear to God, I'm not saying that it was ripped off, but it's basically Against All Odds, but flipped. But it's just as sexy. It's just fuck yeah. But yeah, I guess when I first saw Jet Trash, I'm like, this is Against All Odds. Where's Jeff Bridges?
Is Jeff Bridges in Jagged Edge?
Is he?
I don't know.
I think he is. And then The Morning After. Ooh, that's number 8. I love that movie. Jane Fonda.
What about The Mirror Has Two Faces?
Aww. That's a guilty pleasure for me. He's such a nerd in that fucking movie. He doesn't want to fuck Barbara Streisand.
Does he, though?
Oh, yeah.
They banging out?
They dance at the end of it. I think that's a metaphor.
Yes.
For, whatever.
What's the other one I was trying to think of? I had another one to ask you about. R.I.P.D. with
Fuck
Ryan.
that movie. Fuck that movie and its fucking ass. And that pisses me off, too, because it's I remember when you went and saw it, and you're like, oh, it's a piece of shit. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit through it anyway. And I could have done something so much better with my fucking time that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's all, yeah, that is not a movie that's worth anyone's time.
That's rare that Ryan Reynolds makes a movie like that. because I usually love everything he does. But
What'd you think of Crazy Heart?
Number 9. I love Crazy Heart. God, it was so good in that fucking movie. That's a fucking classic. That one.
You know, my number 2 would be after Lebowski, because Lebowski's his greatest film ever made.
So you.
Hell or High Water would be my number 2. It's him and Chris Pine and Ben Foster.
I have never seen that.
You've never seen Hell or High Water?
I have not
You've got to
seen
see
that.
Hell or High Water. It's amazing.
Oh my god!
What a great goddamn movie.
What's it about?
He plays a sheriff who's tracking these 2 farm boys who have robbed a bank to try and keep their ranch.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Okay. I'll check that one out for sure.
What about The Giver?
No.
Oh, I've seen The Giver.
What'd you think?
I liked the book better.
He was great in True Grit.
Fucking fantastic. And that's my number 10 right there.
Not so good in The Men Who Stare at Goats.
Oh my god, that fucking movie.
So bad.
Men
What-
who stare
What a
at
tag.
goats?
That Remember when that came out? We're like, is this a real fucking movie? Saw the trailer for it and I'm like, that's not a real fucking movie. Somebody's taking
The
piss.
Men Who Stare at Goats is it's Jeff Bridges and George Clooney, and it's about a CIA program in which they're trying to develop remote viewing techniques. And
Oh.
Jeff Bridges is playing like a hippie, but he's also in the military. He's a
Doesn't-
military hippie.
Doesn't he have an eye patch in that?
Okay, do those things go together? Because I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
But that's the character, though. That is the character.
It shouldn't be. I don't think, but
Fuck
I
that
mean,
movie. Just,
It's not good. It's not a good movie.
it's none of our business.
The Army's New Earth Army, a unit that employs paranormal powers in their missions.
No.
that was the premise of the movie, and Jeff Bridges was like the commanding officer.
Yeah.
What about Iron Man?
Fuck yeah. Obadiah Stane, baby. I have that toy somewhere. Yeah.
Bridges is weird as a villain, isn't he?
He is, but he's so fucking. He's good at it though. Like, you know what I think it was? It's the chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. in that movie. I love the way that they speak to one another. It's electric. You know what I mean? It's just yeah. Oh god, fucking love him. Yeah, and he drives a fucking Segway in that shit. Coming down the road on the Segway, it's like, dude, Jeff, are you in a Segway? Why? And it's like, oh yeah, that's how Obadiah would get around. Okay, cool.
Did you love Texasville? Texasville.
Oh, with is it Jessica Lange?
No,
No. Oh, Sybil Shepherd?
that's the one.
Kind of a sequel to The Last Picture Show?
Yes.
Yeah. I hated that movie.
How many times have you seen Cutter's Way?
Once. That's all you need. One and done. Yeah, I did not like that. That movie gave me anxiety.
What about the American Success Company?
I do not recall that one.
It's available on YouTube.
Oh, I have seen that. You know why? Because Bianca Jagger's in it. And
Is
she
she?
plays his love interest in it. And it's in 6 parts. I watched it when I lived over at the marina. Now it's all coming back to me.
And you loved it.
No. I liked him in it, but overall it was stupid. I mean, it was kind of a comedy. Yeah, no.
What about him in the character of Rupert in Kiss Me Goodbye?
That's my favorite. I told you it's number 4 on my list. Rupert. Aww.
Rupert?
Yeah.
I don't see him as a Rupert.
He very much is a Rupert in there, though. Like, I'm not saying like Rupert Grint, but like Rupert the teddy bear in Family Guy. You know, that kind of a Rupert. Just sweet and unassuming and sad.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
We could do this all day. Because it's got something. What about the Tron movies?
First one, I fucking love. Even though, like, watching it back recently, it's like, oh, some of this stuff is not landing well.
It's so cheesy.
It is so
It's
cheesy.
so cheesy.
But then
What do they call each other?
oh, don't.
Just the words in Tron are just so funny.
Bitbrain?
Bitbrain.
It was Bitbrain. Bitbrain. Wow, I can't believe I remembered that. That's so, like, it just popped in my head. Yeah, no, and then the second one, too, it's like, I've got the actual, like, from Hot Toys, the Jeff Bridges doll from Tron 2.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome because it looks exactly like him, and he came with, like, 2 outfits, and you could change his hands and shit. And I love that. I loved my Hot Toys of it, but I hated the movie. Because I don't like the de-aging software that they use. I think it looks really weird. Because we all know how he looked when he was young. And I saw a little bit of him, but it didn't look enough like him for me. So
I was confused. I thought he got out of the Tron game at the end of the first
did.
Tron. So how did he end up back in Tron?
Well, you know, try to get out, but you get sucked right back in. You know, you know Tron. Yeah.
Of course, Starman. Obviously.
Oh, that's my number 11.
Oh my God.
I love Starman.
You love Starman?
I do.
I hate Starman.
It's better than Darman.
Everything is better than Darman.
No, I love Starman. But now I'm going to be saying it like Darman. Starman. God damn it. Fuck you, Darman.
Put him on the cut list.
Oh,
yes.
You know what? Yes.
Yes. Where is the cut list?
It's over in this drawer that I can't reach because the dog's on me. It's shoved back there somewhere. There we go.
For MJ, for people who don't know who Darman is, why don't you explain Darman?
Oh God! So I first saw his videos because YouTubers were reacting to them. He's a YouTuber, and he makes these great little stories about people learning life lessons. And at the end of them, they say, so you see, this is why you shouldn't be a dick. And I feel like that was established earlier, and I feel like you don't need to say, so you see, every 5 fucking minutes.
I love the fact that, he made like millions. And yet, all of his actors had to go out and basically picket because they weren't getting paid a living wage.
Am I right that his stuff is actually shown in schools?
I think he hopes so. He actually made a Darman video about him being in, showing up in a classroom, because his number 1 fan was in there. Noah.
You don't know Darman. Yeah, I do.
I love when he walks in the room. They're like, the one kid screams, Darman. That's like, okay, how are we saying his name? I thought it was Darman, right? But
we said that was one?
But then they say Darman like he's Batman. And I think he fucking wants it like that.
Is that how it's supposed to be?
Come on now. I'm telling you.
Strange man. Why?
We'll close the show on Amy's thoughts. Amy's going to give us a 10-minute dissection of White Squall.
Oh, so White Squall stars Jeff Bridges as a man who is on a boat with Scott Wolf, who is from Party of 5. They get into a white squall, which is a storm, and they all
white squall?
Yeah. White squall, and they all fall over the boat and they die. The end. That's not how it really ends. But everyone in the movie is white, and they all wear white clothing, and it's a lot of white dialogue. So
Jeff Bridges plays Squall.
White Squall. First name is White.
His name is White Squall.
Spelled with a Y.
It's not the weather that you encounter on a boat. His name is White Squall.
He sounds like a fucking villain. We must go defeat White Squall.
This will not stand, White Squall.
This will not stand. Oh no! Yeah,
the imperious White Squall.
Again, back when I was going through my Jeff obsession era, which is a good 3 or 4 years, I do this with all actors that I love. I'm a completist. I have to see every single thing they've done. The only reason I sat through fucking White Squall was because Jeff Bridges was in it, but not nearly enough for me to justify losing an hour and a half to that fucking movie.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
What is he? He get kicked out of the movie at a certain point?
Doesn't he fall over the side?
I have no idea.
He dies.
I've never seen it.
I barely remember it. But again, that was like 2006. So I don't remember a lot from 2006. I was really drunk during that period of time.
I don't remember anything from 2006. I was 2.
You were 2. You spent a lot of time at my house. Not while I was drunk, by the way.
Yeah, and I think, whoa. Okay.
Stop playing your PS4 or whatever the fuck
It's
that
not
is.
a PS4.
What is it?
This is a Switch.
So whatever it is. Your Pokemon game or whatever you're playing. What are you doing?
Gotta catch them all.
That's what I say about most venereal diseases.
Oh!
Do it at least
wow.
once. Get it out of the way.
Brought to you by Fiero, the official car of venereal diseases.
How'd you get your VD? Backseat of a Pontiac Fiero. Just like all of me, my cousins and my brothers and everybody.
You just get VD when you sit down in a Fiero.
Maybe wear underpants. But when you own a Fiero, you don't wear underpants. Everything is commando. Strictly commando. Telling you what. Telling you what.
What?
Fiero, the official car of Commando.
Oh, no.
Do you like underwear? You're not allowed to drive a Fiero.
Right. Do you wear underwear? Neither do we. Join us for our Pontiac event this Friday. 1987 Pontiac Fiero.
Next week, would you like to watch The Three Musketeers?
Oh, no.
Carlito's Way?
Oh, no.
Ernest Rides Again?
Oh, fuck no. No.
All right. Then the answer is My Life, starring Michael Keaton. Good night, everybody.
Oh, no. Wait, what were our choices again?
The Three Musketeers.
Is that with Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen and Kiefer Sutherland.
Okay.
Carlito's Way.
Pacino?
Yeah. Then Ernest Rides Again. And My Life.
My Life. Why don't I... Was he... No.
It's Keaton dying of cancer for 95 minutes.
Sounds great. Well, I think we found our movie.
He's dying of cancer and he's making a bunch of videotapes for his child to watch every year on their birthday.
Oh, I was... Because I just
Nicole
went back
Kidman's his wife.
Yeah, we're not going to watch that.
What?
No.
What are we gonna watch?
Three Musketeers.
Ernest Rides Again.